another traveller. Pull a chair up and rest your feet. Would you care for some food or drink? Perhaps some information or a legendary tale? Come, stay a while and listen.
Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Legends podcast. I'm Clayton Freeman.
I'm Jacob Yonbor.
And today we are going to be doing a new episode of our series. This one's going to be called Flagons and Fables.
Yeah, the idea is that in this series, we'll be taking more of a lighthearted approach and more joking around and stuff. Just sharing our experience without so much of a organized approach.
Mm-hmm. More freestyle, more relaxed, and just kind of talking about our experiences in the Dungeons and Dragons community and what we've experienced and all that kind of good stuff. And today's topic of discussion is going to be our switch to digital tabletop gaming with everything that's been going on with this COVID-19 virus, this pandemic, if you want to call it that for sure, because it's what it is. So that's definitely what we're bringing to the discussion today.
So obviously, since we had to change our play style thanks to this virus, we had to consider some options for what would be available to us. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there are a lot of choices out there, and so this is not really, I would say, an endorsement, but just more of a speaking from our experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
what we fell on.
Right. So what we ended up doing as a group was we are using Discord. At the moment, we are just using the audio portion of Discord just to do a theater of the mind game session, basically. Mm-hmm. We have only done it one time so far. We are trying it again maybe Wednesday next week, but at least Sunday next week.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's been a pretty interesting experience so far. I mean, going from a physical table to just all online, just talking to each other, and it's been interesting for sure. So we are also using D&D Beyond with that. We're heavy subscribers to that. We love the D&D Beyond tool set. And we've also been using that to our advantage as well.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before in some other episodes. Strongly endorse that. That is a good tool to have on hand. And I get that, it's not for everyone, especially if you've bought the books and you don't want to pay the money again for it. That makes sense. But if you feel like you need something that's really convenient to access whenever you want, you don't have to lug around the books. You can search in the database and find a rule or a spell or an item just like that. So it really speeds up our gameplay personally.
Mm-hmm. There's like Jake mentioned, there's other options as well. We got Roll20, Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah.
Just to name a few off the top of my head. You could just
use
Skype, yep. People use Zoom meetings. I've been hearing that.
Yeah.
That's a really professional platform that a lot of people have really liked.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of I've been hearing some options that are just starting up. They're new ones. Mm-hmm. I cannot think of a name of one. I'm sure I'll think of it as the episode's going, so yeah. I'll tell you if I think of it.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes open for maybe something new out there that might be just what you need.
Yeah, and we want you guys to be staying safe out there, and that's kind of why we're doing this episode today. We switched over. It was hard for us because we love playing at the table. We have always been a table group.
Absolutely.
And this is a big change, especially for a lot of our group. Growing up when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, this would have never been an option. Like going online and playing until in our later teen years it would have been possible, but D&D just wasn't as popular and as important to culture at that time back then.
Yeah, we kind of came from when it was an outcast's activity. So I'd say having that close-knit group at the table it really helps establish friendships for us. So we were worried about switching away from that. That's kind of that's what we've always done, and creatures of habit. So it's hard to break away from what you're used to.
We got people in our group. They got kids. They got high risk family. We can't be risking it. So we had to make that change to go digital to, as people are saying, do our part to help. Lighten the load on our medical field.
Yeah, flatten the curve.
It's all an effort to do that, and we just wanted to put this episode out there so you guys can have some ideas and maybe join in yourself, and we'll all get through this together.
Right.
So we kind of hit on a little bit about how we used to play, back in the tabletop days. It feels like everything's meshing together. But yeah, I mean, I talked a little bit about on it. Did you have anything else you really wanted to add in that instance?
In tabletop wise?
Yeah, like kind of like how you used to play, and did you have anything you really wanted to say, or?
No, I think that's okay. I think it's covered.
Okay. So now I think we can kind of dive in a little bit more to how we're playing virtually, how we're doing it. We've hit on a little bit of things, but right now we just have a Discord server set up.
Yeah, just for our little group. So we have our Discord server set up. We'll have channels set up for the different campaigns we hope to run over Discord. We'll see how that pans out. So far, it's just our one Storm King Thunder campaign.
Mm-hmm. But this whole thing has kind of made us think larger in terms of, if we can't always meet in person, how are we going to be able to work and collaborate on D&D content that we want to get out to you guys? So that's another kind of big thing that's come out of this. So that we hate this pandemic, but it has helped get our butts in gear to switch over to kind of a digital format.
Yeah, it's a good step back to actually make you think about what's important in your life. And D&D is important for us. We have grown close with new friends. We've kept old friendships alive. It's a great game, story building and all that, and just getting to sit down and share an experience with friends. It's something that's, especially today, it's hard to do. You can't go out to the bar and have a good time or play trivia or whatever. Well, I guess you can play trivia online, but you can't meet up in a group anymore. So it's, what are you going to do to make it work?
Right. So that's kind of the approach we definitely took, and we've found that it's, so far we had a couple issues at first, I'd say, that were
pros and cons.
There's always, with a new world, there's going to come some growing pains.
Yeah, it's I guess let's cover our experience here. So the quick version, we would say we did setup. I would say that went well. And then we did testing when we actually got to the first day, and that did not go well. And then we did some adapting, and we got it to work out in the end. So let's cover setup quickly. I'll let you talk to the listeners about that a little more, since you actually set up the channel and the server and everything. So what's the quick explanation?
Oh, Discord, you go out there, you create an account, on the application, and then you can go through, you essentially just make a room, name it, whatever you want. I named ours Tavern Legends because, that's our little table group. So then from there you can create like text channels where you can essentially have message threads, kind of similar to like Twitter or Reddit potentially. And you can also have audio channels where you can talk on mics and everything like that. There's also some other perks. I haven't gotten into it too far just because I'm fairly new to Discord, but it's fairly painless setting it up, setting up the roles and everyone for our group and getting them added. I'd say the hardest part was getting everyone on there and getting them ready to go for the session.
Yeah. We had a nice surprise. One of our players that wasn't able to join for the longest time because he was 2 hours away for driving time, because we switched to online, he got to play again. So
Yep.
that was a great surprise, and I'd say that's one of those pros. You don't have to worry about the distance anymore.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice thing. So that's essentially how I set that up, and then I also set through our D&D Beyond account. We got a free little bot feature that we could use on the server that essentially lets us look up rules in the books, looks up creatures, can keep track of initiative.
Yeah,
It's called Avray. It's a great bot and everything. It's still pretty simplistic and everything. It doesn't quite do everything you need it to, but it's pretty cool just to type in commands, kind of at a Linux programming level, if you understand Linux programming. But it's very similar to that. But it's just kind of cool because you can load your character data from D&D Beyond to it and keep track of your stats just all through text. So you don't even need to have a conversation. Like, you can just have a battle through just text commands.
Yeah, so if you can't talk, you can actually just type what you want to do to the group. Mm-hmm. Or
and so what a lot
stats
what a lot of us like to do is just make rolls on there, so that way our DM can see it and knows we're not, fudging numbers, even though I hope no one's fudging numbers, because what's the fun in that? But it does happen, and that's another issue with digital gaming, tabletop gaming, I should say.
Yeah, I think that touches on an important factor. There is a new level of trust. We have to trust each other, especially as I'm DMing the game. I have to trust that my players are doing the right thing. So doing the online ruling is nice because I can see it there. I know it's accurate. I'm not sure how good it is at randomizing yet because you guys were on fire with those rolls for the longest time.
Yeah, we were rolling pretty good.
So many criticals. It was crazy.
It was just one of those sessions, a high-low session,
Yeah.
mainly ending in the high portion. So
yeah, you guys destroyed
there was no
my
middle
challenge.
ground. There was no middle ground. Like, it was just
great.
high-low. It was all high-low.
Yeah, it was nice because I knew that you guys succeeded for sure, or I knew you failed for sure. There was no middle grounds and piddling and trying to decide if it was close enough. But yeah, that was a little bit of an obstacle. And
I'd say the biggest obstacle is definitely our mic echo. Jake was DMing and he had a huge amount of echo.
This goes into the testing part I mentioned before. It wasn't even just echo. I'm pretty sure the microphone was broken. I think my son got a hold of it and messed it up. And I just remember putting on the headphones and connecting to the room, and Clay just immediately was just like, popcorn.
Popcorn.
It's just a constant popping noise because the mic is fried. And oh my god!
I'm just texting him frantically emojis of popcorn just to spam him and give him even more anxiety.
And so yeah, I'm just trying to disconnect and figure this out and reconnect. And oh my goodness! So we definitely had some issues with getting everything set up. And I would even suggest from this lesson that it might be worthwhile to just set a session up to make sure everyone can connect and play and like get their information out and just catch up with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's a
might
good point.
almost like a session 0 for getting online.
Szechuan 0.
Or give yourself an extra 30 minutes of just getting comfortable and getting everything caught up and positioned how you need it to be. Because then we would like to do the visual aspect at some point, getting some video, maybe of a battle mat and at least our faces, because there is
an
element of communication.
Sorry to interrupt. We've done streaming in the past, so we have like an overlay and stuff made. I mean, we can definitely improve on it. We'll have to change it up a little bit now, but
learning curve.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that in future stuff because I think it sounds like this thing's going until June-ish. So
yeah,
as of right now, and we're in Nebraska, and we're on less of a lockdown than most people.
I think we're one of 4 states that does not have a stay-at-home order.
But I just want everyone to know that doesn't mean we're not staying inside and doing our part, because we still are.
We're in my mask to the grocery store, because they still are not doing grocery deliveries for the most part around here.
Yeah.
It's just too many people and not enough people working.
Right.
But
so, we just wanted to come out here. We wanted to give you guys a little bit of look into our tabletop experience, switching to that digital aspect. But we appreciate you guys definitely coming in and listening. We wanted to go over some ideas for our potential next podcast episode. Jake, I'll kind of hand that off to you, I think.
So for ideas for our next podcast episode, I think our front runner for ideas right now. There's all this new content that is being released by the D&D team. I think we might provide some reviews of some of those quests that they're releasing. I'm not too familiar with what they have right now, so I'm not sure how extensively we'll explore that. But there's a few that caught our eyes. I think the one in particular for me, I don't remember the exact title, but something at Sokol Keep. So that was, I believe it was a con event quest, so some sort of convention. So I'm curious in that one. I think we'll cover that at least, maybe some of the others.
Yeah, and we want to get back on track with our ability scores and skill stuff that we were doing before kind of all this COVID-19 stuff started going on. But we just wanted to, since it was relevant and important right now, we wanted to hit it while it's an important hot topic, and so everyone could get that message. But we definitely want to get back into that table talk episode.
Covering some of the core mechanics of the game, that stuff. I think we are planning our next Legendary Tales session. That one's a little further off, but we're pretty excited about trying to release another one of those.
Yeah, those ones, they take a little bit more work. We got to write an original one shot, and we got to coordinate with a couple other players. So it's a little bit more work, and especially on the editing front too, and they're a little longer sessions. So
we're hoping to do 2 guest players, so we'll have the 4 of us. So that's going to be, we're going to have some recording obstacles to take care of.
Right.
So we'll explore that and let you guys know when we figure out more on that front. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for stopping into the tavern and giving us a listen today. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for listening, Traveler. We wish you legendary tales and wondrous treasures.
Stay safe out there, guys.